Hey guys, so it is Thursday. I didn't record anything this week and I had a really fun weekend. So you can see all that stuff on Instagram. But I scheduled the NASM exam for today and it's almost, I think it's a little bit after 11 right now, and the exam is at 12. So they said you can usually log on 30 minutes before, and then you have to go through like a checking process. So they check like your license to make sure you're you, and then your CPR and AED certification is current. And so I have that, and then they said depending on who is like proctoring, like you have to download a secured browser because obviously you can't cheat. And then however it's proctored, like sometimes they let you start earlier than your time, but you have 2 hours, so you have 120 minutes for the 100 question exam. I'm like stressed out. I mean, I reviewed everything that, you know, I got wrong on the practice exams, and I just went over some of like just different things that like would always like get messed up in my mind. Some of it's like so easy, like the sagittal plane, the frontal plane, I always get the planes of like motion mixed up or just like don't understand them. I went over some of the formulas and like the skin fold test and just like certain names of things that are a little more out there. But I mean, I feel good because like, I mean, I passed all the practice exams that I took. So you need a 70 or higher plus, depending, I think they, you know, they always throw in like an experimental question or something, like any type of, you know, big exam. And it's like weighted. So if like everyone gets something wrong, I think they'll take that question out. I don't know if it's instantly graded. I assume it is because it's computer based. But yeah, like I'm like stressing out right now. I definitely will log on at like 11:30, just whatever, because right now I can't focus on anything else. But I just, you know, did another quick review this morning and I think I'm good. So yeah, I will check in with you guys like right when I'm done, and just whatever happens, like I don't know what to expect. But yeah, then I'll probably talk about it a little bit. I'm not sure. I may kind of extend this into the weekend. I don't know if this will be like a weekend vlog. But yeah, so I'm really stressed out right now, but yeah, fingers crossed. So I will check in with you guys in a little bit. So I just took a shower and I need to decompress. My heart is pounding still. So I was positive, right? You know, you guys saw me. I recorded that clip before I took the exam. I was ready to go. So I log on at 11:30. I want to just get started early. Now depending on how old you are, you know, you may have had Zoom University where you've had to take, you know, proctored exams where they do that like software that, you know, they see your screen, like whatever. So it was PSI, right? Is I think one of the main companies. So I had to go on, I had to download the secure browser, which honestly, I don't even know if it's off. I deleted it from my Mac, but I'm concerned that's still on there. And then you have to like I have my laptop plugged in. I have to like do like a full 360, do all these like showing, whatever. And I get to the person when they actually speak to you, and she's like, your name doesn't match with your photo ID. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, Rebecca Pytell. And I'm showing them my ID again. I'm like, look, Rebecca Pytell. And she's like, no, the name's not the same. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I said, on my driver's license it says Rebecca Lynn Pytell. And I'm like, fuck. Lynn. I guess, so when you register for the exam, there's no space for your middle name. So I was like, well, my middle name is Lynn, obviously, but, you know, my driver's license is going to have that on there. You know, even my CPR certification is Rebecca Pytell. And she's like, well, I can't tell you what's wrong necessarily because of security reasons. So she like tells me I can't take the test right now and I need to call tech support. So I do. I go through, I tell them the problem, and I'm like, you know, what's going on? And they're like, oh, this is, yeah, like you'll need to have that changed on your registration. So I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? Like my exam starts in a few minutes, let's go. So they put me through to some customer service line, and this is all the PSI side of things. So it's like, you know, obviously like an outsourced, you know, people in India kind of thing. And the woman's like taking me through, I'm telling her the problem, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, yeah, you know, the NASM has to change it on their end because they don't have a way to do that. They can try to talk to the proctor, but depending on who the proctor is, they're not going to really do anything. I'm like, well, I'm not getting, so this basically has taken a very long time. It's already like 40 minutes in. I'm getting pissed at this point. You know, I was nice up until a certain point, and I'm like, it's my middle name. It's 3 letters. That's literally screwing me over and ruining my day. So I start crying, and I'm making a big case, you know. And each person I keep getting transferred to, I'm getting transferred back to tech support, is asking me the same questions: your name, your email address, your phone number. And I'm like this is not fair, and I want to talk to supervisor. I'm not getting off until I can take my exam. I took the day off to do this. So then they're like, you need to call NASM and have them change it. So I was like, you know what, okay, whatever. So I end up calling NASM, their customer service line. I get on to like a normal guy, sounds like some teenager guy. And I'm like, yo, I'm trying to take this exam right now, and they won't let me because I'm not registered under the right name. That doesn't match my driver's license. So he's like, send me a picture of your driver's license. So I did, I emailed it to him. And then he changed my registration. So I'm like, all right, you know what, one last time. So this is already like an hour and a half in. I'm so upset. This is literally what my room looks like right now. Because, so I get on, I try to do the registration again with the driver's license, and they're like, no, the name doesn't match. And I'm like, no, refresh your system because it should be changed now. So eventually, after like 15 minutes, he's like, okay, it's complete. And I'm like waiting there, I'm like, all right, what now? And he's like, I need to see your desk. And I'm like, I already showed you my desk and the video footage. And he's like, no, it needs to be completely clear. So I clear off my surface of my desk. And then he's like, and underneath all my shelves. So I have like stuffed animals, like candles, all this stuff. And so I had literally had to take everything out. And so my desk is empty. And then I'm finally I literally was so upset, so tired. My heart is pounding. I've been crying. I was not in the mindset to take this exam now. 120 questions, because there's 20 questions extra in there that they do for testing or whatever that aren't like graded. And so I'm like, you know, like, oh my God, like, but I was like, I'm not taking it today. There's no way I'm rescheduling this. Because if I did have to reschedule, I'd have to call up the customer services from NASM and allow them to like reinstate the exam, because it would have been expired. I would have been like automatically failed it. So eventually I get into it, and it's this clunky system. It's so long to load each question. So I'm just like, I don't even know. Half of them, I was like, I don't even know. I have no idea. I'm just randomly clicking answers at this point. I'm so exhausted. I have to pee because I didn't get to go to the bathroom again because I was on the phone with everyone. And I don't know, somehow eventually I got through. And then you press exit when you're done. And then there's like a post survey, whatever. And then there's like, I think it's more like demographic information for NASM. And then there's like a post exam survey where you're kind of like grading the experience. Oh my God. I put like, you know, unprofessional, all this stuff because it was terrible. And then eventually I finished that, and I'm like, you know what, I'm done. I don't even care anymore what happens. You know, I'm probably have to retake it. And I in my mind, I'm like, if I fail this, I'm gonna call up NASM and be like, I was in such a bad state, this isn't fair, you know. So, I guess I passed. I saw a pass, and then I'm like, they were just like, exit the thing. So I'm like, okay, I exit it. Didn't get an email or anything, but then I was sent an email from PSI saying I passed it. And it takes like 24 hours to get your certificate to be generated in your NASM portal. So I'm waiting for it right now. I have no idea how I passed. I'm so tired. Literally my chest is so tight. I was so positive. I was like, I'm like, yes, I'm like ready to go. And these are the kind of things that happen to me all the time. So lesson learned. If you have your middle name on your driver's license or whatever government issued ID, I literally scrounged in my drawer to find my old like high school and college ID cards that have like just my first and last name on it. I'm like, can I use this instead? But when you're registering for it, make sure, you wouldn't even know this, and there's no space on NASM's like registration page for your middle name. But when I was talking to the guy on the phone, he's like, oh yeah, we were having a lot of problems with this morning. What do you mean? What's going on? You've been doing these exams for years. I don't even understand. So, I don't know, but I guess I passed. I'll find out, and I'm just gonna log back in. I had to put all this stuff away. I'm so tired. My entire day was now taken up. I thought this was gonna be quick. I was taking those practice exams like nothing, 30 minutes. Now, I am so tired. I'm so tired. I had to unplug my laptop in because the plug came out when I was showing you a video, which means now the battery is like getting fully charged, and I'm so tired now. Oh my God, I can't believe that's what happened. So that was the NASM experience from hell. Lessons learned. So I honestly just want to go to sleep right now. I'm gonna put all my stuff away, and I just don't even know. I don't know. Hopefully, all right, tomorrow's gonna be a beach day because I need to like relax. That was literally though. Now I think the rest of the like exams that I have, so the nutrition course and then the bodybuilding physique, it's a 90 question exam or a 90-minute exam. I think there's less questions and they're not proctored. I swear to God, if I ever have to take another proctored exam, I'm out. That was the most horrible experience I have ever had. I'm like, yeah, going all good. I'm like putting all my things in, blah, blah, getting ready. And they're like, your name doesn't match. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Why do I only have one name? It wasn't even like I had a nickname. Oh my God. So hopefully they update that with the NASM thing saying it needs to match exactly your driver's license, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't have another ID to show you because even my birth certificate's gonna have my like middle name on it. I couldn't even find it at that point either. So yeah, I will check back in with you when my like certificate comes and I can show you what it looks like. Hey guys, so it is Friday and I just got back from the beach. So I just took a shower again and I always film after I take a shower. So I was like obsessively checking my portal on NASM all last night. And then I looked this morning around like 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and it was uploaded. So apparently so within 24 hours, they send you like the digital copy. It looks pretty like janky, like it says digital copy on it. Apparently they send you like a real certificate in the mail within like 4 to 6 weeks. So obviously that, you know, processing and everything. But let me show you. So that is it. So it is official. But it's like, I don't feel like ready to like train anyone whatsoever. Like, I feel like I need to shadow someone or just, I don't know. Obviously you start like with friends and family maybe. But regardless, so that is done. Now I opened up the nutrition the nutrition course that I bought for like being a certified nutrition coach. So that is good because then legally, you know, you can kind of give advice on like meal plans and things like that. So I just started that, and it's easier, the test for that. And you have like 3 chances to do it. It's not like as scary, but then you have to get like retested every 2 years and you have to pay to get retested for that. So that's a little stressful because I'm thinking the more specialties I take, then it's gonna cost a lot of money to renew. And then after that, I will start the physique and bodybuilding one for training for shows. And then there's also, they give you like a free like how to teach people online. So I do want to go through that and just see what the best way to like structure like an online business is, because I'm always like, oh, why don't you, I can still teach anyone anywhere. But then, you know, I'm going to start now looking a little more seriously at just like gyms and just whatever, even if I just kind of get my foot in the door and do something like part-time maybe, just kind of see the environment. Because again, like I've been working out at home for years now. I haven't, you know, been into a gym in a really long time. So I have to get used to that. And just, yeah, see how it is. So that's kind of fun and exciting. So I spent today at the beach, which was really good because I wasn't able to go last week. Or I decided not to go. It was a beautiful day. The water was so blue and beautiful, and you could tell there's spring breakers down because there was a lot more like younger people. And then the beach by like 12 o'clock, it was crowded. And then I ran to Trader Joe's to pick up a few things. I needed something for a recipe that I want to work on. Oh, sorry, that got cut off because the battery died. So yeah, like, I mean, so studying wise, like I did the practice exam like 4 times. And then I went over the questions I got wrong. And then the last few days of it, like I just brushed up on like things that I knew like I always kind of mixed up or whatever. Like the planes and then the thing is, when I actually went and took the test, a lot of the questions were not necessarily the ones that I encountered on the practice exams. They were, but actually a lot of the questions I got were from like the beginning chapters and they show you the breakdown of like this chapter section is like this much percent in the exam. Like, it was kind of off for that. I'm a little surprised. I don't know. I was so upset and just like exhausted when I was taking it that I'm surprised that I passed. Seriously. So you start out, you take like a 5-question, 10-question or something, like practice thing, probably to make sure you're not like a robot. I don't know. But it was like, how many days in the year are there? Like stuff like that. And then you go to the exam, and it's 120 questions, because 20 questions are not graded whatsoever. But then the exam is also like curved and just whatever. So you're answering 120 questions. And you have 2 hours to do it. It will not take you that long, because it's not like math problems where you can like go back and like check your work. Like, you either know it or you don't. Sometimes maybe you'll find like one question will help you if you're like not sure or something, and then later on in the exam another question will kind of answer that. It depends. I think that happened to me once maybe, but I think I'd already answered it correctly. And you can leave like a note or something on those, or you can mark it, like bookmark the ones that you want to come back to, because obviously there's 100 questions. So scrolling through all them, and the platform's like so glitchy and old that it's like, it would take you forever. And then you finish that, and then you take there's like a demographic kind of survey, and then like the survey for rating how the experience was just terrible. So yeah, it's kind of cool. Like, I always wanted to do that, like when I was younger, when I started blogging, I was reading all these like healthy living blogs, and I was just always in awe of the other women that, were these trainers or were like running coaches, like all this stuff. I was like, oh my God, I wish I could do that. And I don't know why I never really seriously looked into it. I'm always like, oh, it's so much money, or oh, I don't need to do that because, it's just a stupid certification. But honestly, like, if you want to be like legit, you kind of have to get something. And I feel better that I had it. Yeah. Even if I never teach anyone, I'm really happy and just proud that I have it, because it's definitely a bucket list item and definitely like a childhood dream of mine. So yeah, it's very cool, and hopefully I will celebrate a little bit more tomorrow. And so last weekend I didn't really film. I filmed some stuff on my phone, and I think I mentioned it, like I went down to Miami and we went to the design district, and then like Midtown, and like Bayside, the Bayside marketplace. So it's like tourist trap stuff, but it was fun. I think I took a few video clips here, but otherwise, like, I have like photos and stuff like that on my Instagram. You can check it out. But that was really fun. And like, I drove down to Fort Lauderdale, and then it's not that bad. Like, to get into Miami, till there's like 20 minutes maybe. Obviously it depends on traffic. That was like a Saturday in the afternoon. But it was also the first weekend of spring break, so I know obviously like South Beach and stuff is gonna be like crazy, but yeah. And then we came back, and I went to Fort Lauderdale, and we went to Riverdale to eat, and it was so clear that they didn't understand food allergies or anything, and I was really nervous, but I ended up just getting like rainbow trout, and obviously it was so fresh, because they probably like caught it like right there off the deck. But like that was it. Like, it was not a good experience though. And yeah, then that was it. I came back, I was so exhausted the next day. And then I ended up cooking and stuff on Tuesday, I think, a new recipe, and just doing work and then studying and prepping for the exam. And then tomorrow Delray has their big like St. Patrick's Day parade, a lot of them. So I think Fort Lauderdale has theirs tonight or this afternoon. A bunch of them happen like this weekend. There's ones on Sunday. Like, every town has them. But Del's race starts at like 12 and then till like 2-ish. And then they also have like a whole downtown like party until like 7 o'clock at night. So I'm gonna do that and kind of like mesh that into like celebrating this, certification stuff, and see where else the weekend takes me. But obviously if I'm losing an hour of sleep, so what I do, because I still wake up at 4 o'clock on Sunday, I don't change my clock until after I'm done with my workout, my morning routine or anything. So my phone will show like it'll be different. So I just have to like in my mind change that, and then so I lose an hour in the afternoon instead of like starting my day losing an hour. It helps me. If you wake up that early, you physically can't do it. I can't lose that much sleep. So That's normally what I do. Yeah, and then I guess next week I'm going to start studying for all the other certifications and stuff, and yeah. And then I found out, I think my mom is booking a trip down to, like, I think the end of April or something, after spring break, because right now, like, the flights and stuff is really expensive. But yeah, I guess we're, like, just trucking through. The start of the year has been pretty crazy. I just can't believe I got done all this stuff in such a short amount of time now. So I'm a yoga teacher, certified personal trainer, soon gonna be a nutrition coach, soon. I really want to dive into the physique and stuff. Like, that's another dream, is to actually compete myself, but obviously it's a lot harder to coach yourself. Like, I'd rather hire someone and get coached by someone else, but you know, we'll see. So I'm gonna wrap this up. This was a short little vlog, but this is my little experience with taking the exam. A little lackluster, but I was so worried last night that it wasn't gonna go through and I wasn't gonna get the certificate because of the name. But now it says Rebecca Lynn Pytell on it, so I'm gonna really have to lean into the Rebecca Lynn. Like, I wanted to name this YouTube channel Rebecca Lynn, but then obviously that's pretty vague, like, there's other Rebecca Lynns, you know, whatever. So I have my full name on there, but I definitely will go by Rebecca Lynn. Thank God I have, like, a good, like, first and middle name combo. Like, there's a song Rebecca Lynn and everything, so. But yeah, so hopefully that was, you know, insightful for you. If you're taking it, just be prepared. But if you have any questions about the exam or just studying and just the whole entire process, let me know in the comments below, and I'd be happy to answer them. I could always make another video, or I could just answer the comments. But yeah, I will see you guys next week, and yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Bye guys.